So here we are at the skate park with Max and Zoe. And yeah, it's a beautiful day. Technically, we're under like a stay-at-home order, which makes this against public health being here. So do you see this as an act of civil disobedience?
I mean, we're outside just trying to move our bodies, try to free our mental, from everything that's going on. We're staying distant from everybody and keeping to ourselves. So I feel that we're doing pretty good here. It's really just moving to get our heads out and to get the thoughts lucid again.
Yeah, for sure. And Max, you're a skateboarder, and Zoe, I take it that you are a roller skater, or do you do derby, or?
I'm a newbie. I just got these, but yeah, roller skater.
Okay, cool. Right on. And how do you see things?
Same way as Max. Like, I don't feel bad about it because we kind of have to get outside for mental health reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought of it as an act of civil disobedience, but I guess technically under the rules. I don't know.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about yourselves. Are you like students? Are you originally from Ottawa? Yeah, tell me a bit about yourselves.
Yeah, so we're both from Ottawa. I'm currently living in Stittsville. What I do, I am a musician. I'm a guitarist for
Cool.
a band called The Brothers.
Oh, you're in a band?
We're in a band, yeah.
What's the band called?
The Brothers.
The Brothers. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And we do all types of stuff. And we what else do we do? Play music, play video games, and
Yeah.
just do the usual.
And I'm a grad student, also like not born in Ottawa, but from Ottawa almost my whole life.
Right on. At Carleton or you Ottawa?
Ottawa.
Okay, right on. In what field?
World literatures and cultures.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so I might ask you some questions of literature once I think of some, but
Oh gosh. We'll see if I can even answer.
yeah. But first, so how have the lockdowns, COVID, etc., affected your life?
Well, I mean, it's been okay. As far as making music and stuff, you just send your files over to other guys in the studios, and we stay safe like that. We stay keep producing while under lockdown, since we have all our studios at home, so it makes everything easy and makes everything cool and safe. But the only thing is that we can't see the people's faces when we play, so that kind of puts a damper on things. But other than that, I mean, everything's pretty cool. Yeah, we miss being live, we miss being outside, we miss going to school, going to class and stuff.
Okay, so you are a student, or were a student too?
Yeah, a student as well.
And
yeah.
what fields are you in?
I was a film studies. So
Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
So I
All
miss
right.
being out, making movies with my friends and stuff like that, but mostly just connecting with other people and other artists, making music with them and stuff. That's definitely a huge impact.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I guess I'm curious how it's affecting musicians and the arts, and I'm concerned about the survival of venues. Like I'm part of a collective in Hull that's currently being evicted, and musicians depend on I don't know there's a symbiosis with live music venues, and kind of depend upon each other, and I'm concerned about the arts, culture, and worried that they aren't seen as essential. How do you feel about that?
Well,
we were just talking about that.
yeah, we were talking about how arts is seen as non-essential, but I mean, we feel the general public really uses it as something essential, to kind of like escape and to get away from everything that's going on right now. So, I mean, for me personally as a musician, like I said, it sucks to not be out there and to support the community, to be out with other artists, to interact and to talk and to grow each other and to support each other, around the city. It's a damper, because that's the big part about it. That's the best part about it, is meeting people and building a community and uprising each other. So that's the biggest damper, I'd say. And it's sad to hear about that in Hull, but I'm sure that we're underground. We're still striving and we're still surviving, finding new ways to get the music out and to get the art out to the people. Because us as artists, we also need that expression. We need we need that place to sort of speak and to be heard as well. So although it is tougher now, I think we still find a way and are trying to find a way to collaborate with a whole bunch of
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that, Zoe?
I'm with Max. I think the arts are like severely underappreciated kind of thing in general, but there's such a means of survival and expression, and yeah, for me at least.
Cultural production as well. I mean, I think that there's more to life than just being alive.
100%.
We need meaning. We need meaning as much as we need oxygen and food. In order to thrive as human beings in the world. And I think that arts and culture is how we create meaning. So I think that. I think that it is essential, and literature is a part of that. Let's see, what questions could I ask you about literature? Who's your favorite author?
Oh God. Oh my God. Why is that such a hard question? I don't know.
Last one you read.
I could just talk about what I'm reading right now.
Sure.
I read for my major research thing, my last requirement for my master's. I'm doing research on this genre called testimonial, but I'm actually reading a novel called Slash and Burn by Claudia Hernandez, and it was just translated into English. It was originally written in Spanish. She's a Salvadorian author, and it's basically like an intergenerational female story of resistance during the Civil War.
Cool.
And kind of the aftermath of that, and how all the different people had to live together in communities after being, ex-guerrilla fighters or just civilians, or people who were in the military. It's a really, really good read.
So that sounds very interesting. Okay, so what do you feel politically is going on in the world right now? Obviously there's a health crisis going on. But there's a lot of other things. There's increased censorship, social media. The media's in Canada is increasingly dependent upon bailouts from the federal government, and we're seeing a kind of narrowing of political discourse. I'm just curious about how you feel about the future of this country. Do you feel it's here's a good place to start. Do you think Canada is a free country?
That's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question.
Maybe not for everyone. There's definitely different levels of privilege depending on which groups you're talking about.
Are you optimistic about the future? Do you think Canada is going to become better and better, or do you think that it's becoming less free?
If we continue to speak up and to speak our truth and to not let it be diminished, then I do have hope, yes, in seeing what has been happening on the positive side of things. For example, protestations and stuff gives me hope and makes me think that there's a voice and that it just needs to keep on being loud, and we need to keep giving it that microphone.
Yeah, I just dislike the binary, in politics, and how it's, like you said, how it's become so narrow. It feels very much like two sides that are just fighting, as opposed to, I don't know. I think people need a fuck ton more empathy.
For sure.
Language.
Yeah, no, kindness and connection, and the ability to converse and to disagree as well. I think that we need to kind of be working on creating unifying narrative that's relevant to people of diverse backgrounds, because Canada is a multicultural country. You got people of different creeds, religions, ethnicities, spiritual beliefs, ideologies, so on and so forth. And I think that potentially, we all drink water, we all breathe air, and these could be unifying things. but unfortunately, some politicians are kind of hijacking environmental issues and making it partisan issues. Basically, like liberals making it a reason to raise taxes and subsidizing fucking pipelines, and all this bullshit. And I don't know what. Can you think of any contributions towards like unifying narratives? Things we can all kind of believe in, agree on, and
that's another great question. I think for me personally, I'd have to answer that tomorrow, ponder on that, think on it. But for real though, because that's something that's I'm asking myself still, to this day.
She's back in skies.
I don't know. It's gonna sound like bullshit, but like just treat people with kindness. I know that doesn't fix everything because there's so many systemic problems, but I don't know.
It's definitely a good start. It's definitely a good start to treat people with kindness, and hopefully, I don't know, if people just communicate with one another and create space for dialogue to occur, people will have better understanding of one another. And I mean, I don't know, I believe that people are good, most of them anyway. Do you two think so?
And I like to believe so. I like to believe so. That's the narrative I put forward first. People are good.
I have a different opinion, but I just don't think people are inherently good or bad, but I would like to believe that people can err on the good side.
Yeah. It's an interesting question. It's I don't know. I'm kind of the opinion that it's that people are about as good or as bad as the culture that they're born into, or that they're raised within. And some will be better than that, and some will be worse than that. But by and large, people will be about as good as the culture. But I think that human nature has, a certain, we have certain instincts towards sharing, and because our survival, as a social animal was, tied up in sharing for billions of years, right?
Yeah, reciprocity is what comes to mind when you talk about sharing. I think that that's a super important thing that capitalism doesn't foster. Those are my opinions.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much, Max and Zoe, for your time. And is it okay if I put this on YouTube?
Yeah.
All right, great. Have a great day.